And we're back here with 843 TV at the Osprey Village Thrift Shop in Okatie, talking with Julie and giving us great information on the amazing project they're doing to help folks with disabilities. And so, Julie, thank you for your heart and for sharing all that. And we left off the other segment talking about the new housing development that's underway. And share with us how your vision is for it to be community sustainable.
Mm-hmm. So one of the things that we looked at is we obviously want this to be an asset for our individuals, but we want it to be an asset for our community as well. We all know that when it comes to persons with special needs being the highest unemployment rate, the lowest amount of income annually, it can sometimes be a major tax on our communities to fund projects and sustain projects like this. So our goal was to set something up that was internally sustainable so that we weren't taxing our community in a way that was a burden to them more than what it needed to be. So one of the things that we are developing at the front of our development right down the road is a commercial development that'll have small businesses. It's going to cater to small businesses like coffee shops, nurseries, ice cream stand. And this is a twofold thing. One, the larger community out there, which is like a 7,500 acre development, uses those things. Everybody wants coffee, right? They want their neighborhood coffee shop, right? Baseball team, right? You win the baseball game and you want to go get ice cream afterwards. And like local nurseries, everybody love them. This also creates job opportunities that are walk-to-work job opportunities for our individuals in jobs that they have skills for and jobs that they can do, which helps to promote their income. For us, it will also create something of a commercial rental income coming in, which means that it helps to sustain our project without constantly doing fundraisers, constantly having funding drives out to our community to donate so we can sustain. We've been continuously researching how can we make this internally sustainable. And now that we have this multi-tiered concept, we're pretty confident that once we get the capital money to build, we'll be able to sustain it beyond building.
I think there's a lot of foresight involved. You know, over the years we had a chance to talk to the different board members, and a lot of these people are retired CEOs. They have lived this life and they're very good at creating opportunities and understand numbers. And I just think it all kind of comes right down to the vision of what you guys are up to.
For sure.
Absolutely. So let's talk about, I mean, I love the idea that it's sustainable. You know, you have commercial involved with there as well. What else could you share with us in the vision of this, the community where, well, number one, we found out that, you know, you're just, because you're on the forefront of creating this community, a lot of the people around the country are coming to you and asking you questions, how can we do this in our area?
Yeah.
So tell us about that.
Okay, well, I think everybody knows that affordable housing is a hot topic right now from coast to coast. And unfortunately for adults with special needs, they're the last to be brought to the table on the conversation. But there's 4.5 million adults with developmental disabilities nationwide. So that's a large amount of people that are in need of housing. We get phone calls from everywhere. And because of that, we started looking at ways that we can consult other communities to use the model that we've built and modify it as they need to for their community so that they can have projects like this and solutions for the problems they may see in their town with affordable housing for these individuals. Currently, we were invited to Winston-Salem, where we're going to be conducting a feasibility study to help Winston-Salem to build, we're going to call it the Osprey Village model, up in Winston-Salem. So we were very honored that they funded us to be able to take a look at their community and to see how our model could be modified and used to sustain a neighborhood in Winston-Salem. And hopefully, as we get more people interested, we'll be able to consult other communities throughout the country.
That's awesome. That's wonderful.
Yeah, we're excited about it.
As far as funding and all, of course, we're here in the thrift shop. We've got one at Hilton Head. Explain the difference between what the thrift shop's purpose is as far as the funding and the capital campaign, because they're different.
They are. And we actually get asked this question quite frequently. We have tons of valued customers coming in going, what does this money go to? So we have a capital campaign that is specifically to raise dollars to build housing. But our thrift shops were actually opened for the purpose of raising money for our general operations. It pays my salary. It pays for the director of finance's salary. It pays for us to get legal consult when it comes to reviewing contracts with architects and engineers. It pays for things like getting the permits put together for, the city of Hardyville, who we're working with closely to get zoned and all the good things when you build. That money is strictly, anything that comes to our thrift shop goes to continuously operate. It goes to pay for our advertising, to outreach families, to get them educated and informed. It does not go to putting shovels in the ground. Right. We're doing that as a capital campaign that is a separate entity from our thrift shops and our general operations.
Well, so come on into the thrift shop and buy stuff, right?
Right, exactly.
Come to the thrift shop. Yeah, even if you don't support our mission, come to the thrift shop anyways, because we have some really, really cool thrift shops.
So where are we with the COVID? Because COVID is lifting, and I know a lot of the participants of the program were sort of left very isolated. Are we able to integrate them again back into the community? Are they out and about?
So they are. Thank goodness we've had one thing that we have in Beaufort County in particular is we have a lot of nonprofits that do support services for adults with special needs. And when COVID hit, I think everybody went, what are we going to do? We have these adults with special needs that have, immune compromisation, and then they're living at home with aging caregivers that also may have these issues. And so it compounded the problem for us. But we have worked tirelessly at creating remote operations, like doing Zoom check-ins and FaceTime check-ins to put eyes on our individuals, make sure their needs are taken care of. As we're kind of moving out of COVID and it's becoming more manageable of a situation, these individuals are actually thriving. They're getting back out into their communities. They're going back to work, going back to some of the recreational activities that they had, which is vital for them. They can become isolated very, very easily. And because they don't have cars, they don't have the ability to get around, say, as you or I do, it can really tax them mentally and their well-being.
Well, Julie, I'm delighted to hear all this, but we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with more 843 TV.